Now for TFSA versus RRSP, looking at kind of the key differences between them. So for TFSA, you can deposit and withdraw the money freely. You can put money in whenever and take money out whenever you want. There's no restrictions. Now the contribution limit is the same for everyone each year. So for this year, it's $26,000, and that's the same for every single Canadian citizen. And lastly, it is not tax deductible, your contributions to your TFSA. RRSP, you restricted deposits and withholding tax on withdrawal. So that means when you take money out, you'll be paying taxes on that, unlike the RRSP, or the TFSA, sorry. Now, the contribution limit is 18% of the earned income up to the maximum. So for Canadian, let's say that Canadian made $100,000 a year, their TFSA limit is going to be $6,000 regardless of how much they make, whether it's $10,000 or $100,000. For an RRSP, since it's 18% of your earned income, it's going to change depending on how much you make. So it's different for everyone. And lastly, it is tax deductible. So the CDIC, or the Canadian Deposit Insurance Corporation, is a federal crown corporation. It ensures the safety of your money if the bank fails, funded through the premiums made by member institutions. Now, a list of the member institutions can be found at this link up on the website. But basically, if you're one of the big banks like CIBC, RSP, RBC, TD, if you're with any of those big banks, and some of them better known like credit unions like Van City and Coast Capital Savings, they're also going to be part of the CDIC. Now, this corporation kind of started out after 2008, after the American banks failed. A lot of people lost their homes, lost a lot of money. So this is kind of a safety measure that Canadians have within their financial institutions. So what is covered? Eligible deposits up to $100,000 at these institutions. Now, what's not covered? Foreign currency deposits, mutual funds, term deposits with maturities greater than 5 years. This could be something like a GIC if it's more than 5 years. Now, these aren't covered because they're seen as more risky investments. So it's something that this corporation does not want to cover. But if it's just simply like money in a bank account, they will cover that. Now, a quick flow chart showing off what the CDIC is. We have Chris and Kelly and their children. So as we can see, their total deposits, or the total balance, is going to be $617,000, but they're only covered for $517,000. So if we analyze Chris, savings accounts is covered, RSP is covered, but his mutual funds aren't covered. That's because they're more risky investment. So if his total deposits of $142,000, only $122,000 are covered. For Kelly, all her money is, it's in a checking account and a TFSA, and it's just simply in a savings account. So all of her money is covered. So Chris and Kelly have a joint account. They have $120,000, but only $100,000 is covered because in the last slide we figured out that they only cover up to $100,000. If they want to save or cover all the extra $20,000, they just have to make two separate accounts with $60,000 each, or $100,000 and $20,000. However it may be, it's just as long as it's under $100,000 in total. For their children, same thing, $130,000 in each account. It's $260,000 total, only $200,000 covered. Only $100,000 is covered to the maximum. So there are ways of moving that money around so it can all be covered.